Hi guys, and welcome. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins. I attended his 4-day seminar about a week ago now, and my intention was to summarize some of the most important things and share with you guys the insight and the knowledge that we gained who were actually able to participate. So whether or not you were able to be there physically or not, I intend to give you a little bit of insight in terms of what happened, what did he go through, and so forth. And I intend to do it relatively short, and I also intend to obviously put everything on the blog so you can go through there and write down your own thoughts and ideas and so forth. And as you might have known, this was in London. We were more than 10,000 people, and one of the things that was extremely impressive to someone like myself who didn't know him before, I've obviously seen and read and heard and listened a lot to Tony Robbins before. He's a performance strategist and he's one of the absolute best ones in the world. He is probably the one that is truly outstanding at what he does. And I don't mean that in sort of a commercialized way, because the way he is interacting with people and getting people involved and engaged is extremely impressive to see. And he's doing it again and again and again. Anyway, I basically decided to split this little part up, so it's going to be 6 or potentially 7 different sort of key takeaways that I've sort of divided them into, and this one will be the first one, and it's probably going to be for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever, and it's relatively straightforward. I just want to go through what is happening, what is he doing, and the first part is going to be about motion. Why motion and movement is extremely important, and that is something that is running through his entire days, the whole schedule basically. And if you haven't seen or heard anything, basically the guy is a little bit older than 55, let's put it like that, but the way and the intensity, the enthusiasm and the energy that man has is absolutely amazing. I basically lack of words. First day, if you didn't know, I luckily googled it a little bit, but if you didn't know, you go there, you sit down, and in this instance, like 10,000 people. He starts at 9. So we sit there, first thing he says, okay, give 5 high fives to people around you. And it's like, as a Swede, high-fiving people you don't know, not sure about that, but anyway, it's like high five, high five, high five. And actually, you start feeling pretty good about it. A few minutes passes and he says, okay, well done guys, let's give 5 people around you a hug. It's like, well, I'm gonna hug these strangers? Well, if he says so, and he's got a lot of authority, you do what he says basically. So you do that, you hug them, and that's fine. And you keep on going. And the funny thing is, after 3 or 4 hours, you start to think a little bit and say, is this guy for real? He's not gonna have any breaks at all? He basically started 9 o'clock, and I'm telling you, there were no breaks. And he kept going till about 10 o'clock at night. And that's when we were supposed to do a fire walk on basically burning coal, 10,000 of us. And the way he did that, or managed to do that, I'll tell you a little bit about it a little bit later. But the key message, basically the first part and what's happening is full-on agenda the whole day, the whole evening, for 4 straight days. He's basically giving you like 50 hours of high intensity. And why does he want to do that? Because he knows that if you're physical and you're moving around a lot, and you will be dancing, you'll be shaking, you'll be jumping, you'll be shouting like crazy, he's obviously making you create certain emotions. He wants to put you in a very emotional state, because when he can do that, it enables him to basically open you up so that you are easier to basically influence. And he wants you to be easier influenced so that he can change the way you think, the way you act, the way you see yourselves, and the limits that you impose upon yourself. And that is obviously extremely impressive to see and to take part of. And one of the exercises, he basically turns down the light, it basically becomes very, very dark, and you have to go back and think about historical scenarios and so forth, really sensitive things. And people are so emotionally focused that people will be crying around you, because the stories and the things that's happened to them, they're going through that internally. And he basically gets you into that state And when he does that, it takes you really, really deep inside. And then obviously that is the part that we'll be leaving behind so that we can move forward. That's the whole idea. Forward, massive impact and massive action. 6 things he mentioned quite early on, basically. 6 sort of human drivers, basically. Uncertainty, certainty, love or connection, growth, spirit, and significance. The funny thing is, these 6 areas of our lives, they are the drivers, they are the ones which will decide who we are, what we behave like, and what we will do in our lives. So I really urge you, because that was what he did to us, to think about these 6, write down which ones are driving you, and normally 3 of them, but 2 of them, 2 out of those 3 that you pick as your main drivers, they are the one shaping your life. And if you don't like what you're getting, you need to change something. And one of the normal ones to change is significance. Everybody wants to feel significance. And it's so important all the time that we're missing the actual connection, relationship, and so forth with other people. We're basically staring at our Facebook, social media all day long, instead of actually interacting with people, connecting with people, showing love and care. And that is extremely sad. Significance is so high up on the scale, we need attention all the time. And it became extremely obvious because he was asking, because he wanted to help someone who had a problem, they were depressed. He asked everybody to raise their hand if they are depressed. And amongst 10,000 people, a lot of people do stand up, hands up, saying, I need your help, I need your help. He walks out amongst all the people, picks someone, and the first instance he picks this lady. And it's like, you look at her and it's like, I don't really think that she's really depressed, because she doesn't look depressed at all. And that's obviously quite strange, because when you do that, it's normally quite obvious. But when you looked at this lady, she was like smiling and everything. It's like, it looks weird, and it takes him like 2 seconds. And it's like, she is not depressed. She's just looking for significance. She was looking for significance. So instead of him being able to help someone else who's really depressed, she wanted the attention so much that she actually stepped in and pretended that she was depressed. That was extremely tragic, the way I saw it. But 3 things that you really, really need to do, and that is basically physiology for your emotional connections. Physiology is extremely important. The language that you use, and your focus. Those are the 3 pillars basically. So if you get those ones right, your emotions will be on top. And the physical part is the one, and that's what he keeps on going for, like 12 hours straight, 14 hours straight. I don't know if you can hear the song, but this is one of them. I was going all the time, and we were dancing like crazy, and you can't see my ass, but we were shaking our asses all the time, and we were feeling really, really good. And everything is about emotions. But do read my blog, think, and if you need, do some changes in your life for the better. See you next time.